Welcome to Radio Boomers Live, the show about all things human from a baby boomer's perspective. All things hot and all things not. News, reviews, interviews, chat, tech, and what's next. And here are your hosts, Reatha Gray from Betty White's Off Their Rockers, and Easy's dad, Jim Zuley.
Good morning, Radio Boomers Live listeners all over the world. Good morning, Reatha. Are you up and ready to go?
Good morning. How are you this morning, Jim?
Well, Reatha, it's time to rock and roll in this virtual age. I think someday we're going to be 3D images walking around. I don't know. It's going at a rapid pace, it seems here.
I know. I saw some of the behind-the-scenes photos, 2 o'clock in the morning, burning the candle at both ends.
Oh,
you know, you're going to have to get Eric to slow down. He's going to burn himself out.
Tell me about it. Yeah, we got the influence effect is rock and rolling out there on the popular list, and we got September 26th, the EZWayVirtualGoldenGala is coming up, and this is going to be.
Why don't we run the promo for the Gold Gala? Because it's almost here.
Yeah, tell me about it. Promo time. And we will get to listen to everything that's going on with this. It's cutting edge.
We were too fast with the promo.
You know, Reatha, this is.
But it's coming up so quickly. We gotta tell people the tickets are free. I mean, where else are you going to get a free ticket to a Golden Gala?
Yeah, and they, go to the EZWay Wall of Fame, and, that's been growing by leaps and bounds, EZWayWallOfFame.com. And, Reatha, isn't it funny how all this is coming together? You know, we got, the virtual situations going on, people staying home because of the pandemic, the elections coming up. It's a lot of stuff for everybody, But I think it's Hot Topic time, Reatha. Time to rock and roll and move along to our Hot Topics.
It is Hot Topic time.
Ripped from the headlines. Today's Hot Topic.
Well, my hot topic is the Emmys. The Emmys were the first of the virtual awards. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, I have to admit, but I don't watch a lot of the Emmys anyway. What I did see seemed to be pretty interesting, done pretty well. They had cameras in like 100 different locations and like 30 different countries, and they actually had people standing outside people's locations with the Emmys, so that if they won, they'd bring it into them, but if they didn't win, they'd walk away. And they had one of the guys in a hazmat suit waving goodbye as the poor loser was inside the house. So that was kind of interesting. They had some records set last night. There's a show whose name that is spelled one way but pronounced the same way. I'll just say Blank Creek. And it set records and won 9 Emmys, and it swept the board with the Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor awards, writer and director for a comedy. And it's a good show. I've seen it. It's a good show. So you can binge watch it if you'd like. It's available now. Zendaya set a record for being the youngest Best Actress in a Drama, which was an upset over Jennifer Aniston. And they seem to do pretty well as far as transitioning from one place to another. It made it interesting. They had cardboard cutouts of stars in the audience. I don't know. I personally think the Golden Gala is going to be a better virtual award show. We've got that coming up next week. But the Emmys are pretty good this year, I have to say. From what I saw, they appeared to be pretty good. What's your hot topic, Jim?
Well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away at 87. She was known for being the second woman to serve on the Supreme Court and was a legal pioneer for gender equality. President Trump said he will likely nominate a woman to replace Ginsburg as soon as next week, and so that's pretty fast, and should be confirmed as soon as possible. At the 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards, Pop TV's SHITTS Creek. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's swept.
Yeah,
I don't even want to
exactly the way it sounds.
Yeah, well, okay. That's swept the comedy series categories with 7 wins. No jobs. Excessive debt with the COVID-19 creates financial hardships in the middle classes and blue and white collar workers. Many have gone, from high incomes, 170 plus incomes, down to hardly any incomes, and they're figuring out how to pay the bills that were attainable, they could handle with that kind of income. But now it's dropped down so much, they're just trying to get the basics taken care of. Jobless claims fell from 80, but there's positive side. The jobless claims fell from 86,000 from 211,000 a year ago. So a lot of people have, they're in situations, but a lot of them are getting back to work. So, anyway, we're going to see what happens with that. But there's a good side. People are going back to work, and offices and shops are opening up and ready to go. Iran threatens revenge after a drone strike that killed a terrorist. You remember the general was killed back in, I believe it was January, and the response was, we're going to get even, and Trump came back with, if they try to do anything, we're going to come back 1,000 times harder. Thousands of birds dropped out of the skies in Mexico, and they figure it could be due to the conditions brought on by the wildfires. China increases military action around Taiwan, U.S. keeping watch. Louisiana and Texas, what's happening over there with the rains, a lot of rains. And you see some streets where you can barely see the tops of the cars. And the Iran currency hits record low due to the U.S. sanctions being reimposed. And rust was found on the moon. And how did that happen? Well, they figure there's signs that water was on the moon. And there's a Texas billboard warning everyone that enter at your own risk due to the Austin police being defunded. So, anyway, there's a lot of stuff. The U.S. doesn't have to wait for a vaccine, according to one top doctor, the U.S. Surgeon General. He said just keep the guidelines, distancing and social distancing and the gloves and the mask. There you go. So we don't know. The virus comes up with a vaccine. They say possibly 50% of the people won't want to take it. So, Rick, so much going on here. I don't know. I think with that, we'll move into commercials.
Looking to take the next step? Join the EZWay Network and become part of our EZWay family. Host your own TV show. Accelerate your viewership as you will be seen on platforms such as Roku, Amazon, Apple. Brand yourself and affiliate yourself with celebrities, artists, influencers, and power players. For more information on how to start your own show, channel, or network, go to EZWayPromotions.com. To stay updated on all our upcoming events, text EZWay to 55678.
EZWay Magazine is your best vehicle to advertise in if you would like to reach a quality database in corporate Hollywood. Not only will you read the stories and enjoy the content, you will also get to interact through social media and get to meet who's featured at the event, as well as get exclusive interviews from your favorite celebrities. EZWay Magazine is a Los Angeles and Orange County-based magazine, but also reaches an international audience. Subscribe to EZWay Magazine today by following EZWay Broadcasting on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or EZWayBroadcasting.com's website. To advertise, call 424-209-9290 or email contact@EZWayBroadcasting.com. That's letter E and letter Z, because we don't do it the hard way. We do it the easy way.
3 great influencers have joined forces to create a space for you to be the expert, get credibility, and be a best-selling author. Get acquainted with the EZWay Wall of Famers and reach a celebrity status with EZWay Publishing, powered by NLCP. Get seen on the cover with EZWay Wall of Fame celebrity influencers. Get the credibility you deserve for being a published author. Best-selling status guaranteed. Increase your credibility, maximize your presence affordably and effectively. Enjoy your new life with EZWay Publishing.
Yes, indeed. And Reatha, we have an extremely interesting guest that I have coming up here. Father Richard Heilman. He's the author of the Church Militant Field Manual, and he's also authored 5 other books calling men, especially to special force training for the life of Christ. He has been a guest on Relevant Radio's The Inner Life for the past 10 years. Father Heilman is leader with Cardinal Burke of the Catholic Men's Movement, the Holy League. He's the creator of the Combat Rosary based on the original World War I military issue rosary. The Combat Rosary is now the official rosary of the Pontifical Swiss Guard. He's an avid user of new media and faith formation, and he's the founder he's the spiritual head and founder of the United States Grace Force, which I believe now numbers over 70,000. So, Father Richard Heilman, you on with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There he is, Father.
Yes.
This is Reatha Gray. Reatha, Father Richard Heilman.
Good morning, Father.
Good to meet you. Yeah, 76,000 now in the United States Grace Force.
Yeah, can you believe? Well, congratulations on that, because that's needed, and it's a total battle. Reatha and I talk about it, everything that's going on, and so we have Richard Heilman back in the old days, and he's going along and going through his school and everything. What was it that put you down the path where you're at today? I mean, you could have been a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, whatever, and you chose this path. What do you think was it? Who inspired you, or what it was that changed that?
So my godfather, my mom's brother, my uncle, was a priest, and so, but I never dreamed of being a priest. Of course, this would have been back in the late 70s, and nobody was thinking about being a priest back then. And but I did the college scene and all that stuff, and sowed my wild oats, but just kind of didn't like that anymore, and started spending just some time by myself and just thinking about things. You probably call it meditation or whatever, but at the time I was just stopping and thinking about things, and then what's really important. And then all of a sudden, on my I always say it's on my 23rd birthday, like a shot, it came to me that not that I think I want to be a priest, but that I am going to be a priest. And I came to understand, and I emerged from my parents' basement. That was where my bedroom was, and told them I'm going to be a priest. And they were shocked. They came out of the clear blue. I'd never talked about it before. And but years later, so it was only about 3 or 4 years ago that I made the connection that I was born on June 24th, 1958. So my 23rd birthday was June 24th, 1981. Which was the day Our Lady first started appearing in Medjugorje. So that's kind of interesting.
Exactly.
But anyways, yeah. So I just I had fire in my heart, and I just pursued it, and saw my vocation director, who just passed away, by the way, a couple of days ago, Monsignor Michael Burke, and then went into seminary, and just grew more and more deeply in love with it, and have continued to fall more deeply in love with it. Now 32 years a priest.
So you could actually say there was kind of a calling there. Somebody was knocking on your door. I mean,
yeah, and like I say, it came like a shot. It was all at once, and I've never doubted. I've never had one day where I regretted or doubted the decision I made. I love my priesthood. But it wasn't like I grappled with it over, days, months, or years. It was one day. It was my 23rd birthday on June 24th, 1981.
Now you're kind of at the front lines of what's going on here, and you have the Church Militant Field Manual, and kind of a combat priest with all this that's going on. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, I got that going on today too.
Yeah, it's always wet. What gave you that?
It's fall, or it's getting toward it. All the stuff's going on. So what? Say it again.
Smoke. Well, you know, there's a lot of fields you can go into. You're a priest and you have your situation with the church, but you went in it's kind of a tough road. You combating evil, which is definitely out there, and we're seeing it now. Now it's really in our face. And you decided to, author books and the Church Militant Field Manual. So the combat priest, you just saw so much going on, you figure you had to help attack that.
Yep. So for me, I saw things ramping up in right around the year 2012. But of course, through the first 4 years of President Obama's administration, it was unsettling, but it would be right in 2012 where he entered into his second term, which is kind of a nothing to lose attitude for second term presidents, and lo and behold, we were the Affordable Care Act and the contraceptive mandate, and everything was being shoved down our throats, and that was when the bishops, by the way, started what they called the Fortnight for Freedom. That was around the whole Hobby Lobby thing, and we actually got out in front of the state capitol, and every Thursday, they called it for the 26th of June to July 4th that year, but we ended up doing it every Thursday night for 3 years, and then the Hobby Lobby decision came in, but it was right then. It was 2012. That's when I wrote and published that book, Church Militant Field Manual, Special Forces Training for the Life in Christ. But really what the book is it's a training manual for spiritual warfare. And inside that is all of the prayers, the devotions, the sacramentals, and what they mean and how powerful they are and all that, so that we can get this army up and running. And then lo and behold, several years later, we would start what's called the United States Grace Force, and now 76,000 strong. But these are people that believe in the power of God, and a state of grace, and being, St. Paul said, put on the full armor of God so you can stand against the tactics of the devil. For we're not fighting flesh and blood here; we're fighting dark forces in the supernatural realm. It's kind of my go-to passage, and so it was really around 2012 that it's like now or never. I felt.
Well, you said the magic word.
Some people in our audience might not know what the Hobby Lobby issue was, or what you're actually fighting against.
Yeah. So with the whole Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, they were making it a law that with that health insurance that they should allow abortifacient drugs, Plan B, Ella, and that cause abortions. And Hobby Lobby says, nope, not under our watch. And it was a law, so it went to court, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and it took a while, but they won the decision that they did not have to, let their employees, let them pay for, these baby-killing drugs.
Oh man, this is unbelievable. And you said the magic word. As far as I'm concerned, I taught my son you have to have hard work, determination, and drive, but without faith, morals, and ethics, it's a waste of time. And the faith part of it and the prayers is important, but I've said it's not just your faith and prayers, it's the belief in those faith and prayers, and having faith with your faith. You really, because so many people, they just, okay, I'll pray for you, but is the belief there? And I don't know if you're familiar with the glass of water with the Japanese scientists. They filmed it with an electronic high-intensity microscope, and they actually saw the water molecules change with different attitudes with the people around the water. They had several people with the positive, and then they filmed it with people with negative attitudes, and they said the molecules actually changed. And they had a show. They asked Larry King, can you give us a show? And how could he give him a show? He's done 1,000 shows. And right off, He said, yeah, I have a show. And they were really amazed. And he said, they make a statement. They give me a statement to debate on the show. And if there's 2 or 3 people, it could be complicated. But he said, in this case, they had 6 people. And he thought, this is really going to be difficult. And what made it even harder, 3 people were from different religions and 3 were from different areas of science. And he thought, this is going to be impossible. And they made the statement. And it went, the way in which you think determines the outcome. And he thought, okay. And he looked around. He's waiting for a response. Nobody said a word. They were all just sitting there like the bobbing head in the 55 Chevy. And they were all in agreement. The people in the religious field said, in our books, in the Bible and whatever, that's what God tells us. And the people of science said the same thing. And it's more than just words. It's the way in which you think determines the outcome. Having faith in your faith. And with the rosary, there's so much power there. And it does make a difference. Especially today, we need more faith, huh?
Right.
So you have... Go ahead, Reed.
Yeah, you have a warfare rosary?
So, I've been trying to reel in men, especially, and what I'm doing, 76,000, I'd say at least half of them are women, but I've been trying to reel in men, and I kind of felt like the rosary, most rosaries look like women's jewelry or children's toys, and so, and we got into that feeling that, the rosary is something women do, So I started to really promote the rosary as a weapon. Padre Pio would say, bring me my weapon and that. And I started to scour the Internet for something really masculine, something muscular. And I came across a 1916 rosary made out of pull chain, like your dog tag hangs from. And pull chain because that's what you pull from a lamp, the chain you pull. But anyways, that was made by the U.S. government. And it was given to chaplains in the military, and this would be World War I, and they had enough left over for World War II, so that upon request, soldiers could have one of these rosaries. And I said, that's awesome. So I actually, based on that 1916 rosary, I developed a pull chain rosary, the first pull chain rosary since 1916, by the way. The original is a little small. Mine is normal size, and then I put on the most powerful medals and cross I could find. So it has the miraculous medal, and then it has also the Benedict medal on it, and the cross is the pardon crucifix. It's the only crucifix that a pope said you get a plenary indulgence for carrying or kissing it. So what I wanted to do is put the most powerful rosary I could together, and then I named it, because in 1916, I named it the Combat Rosary, okay? And so it just kind of took off. I mean, and then men started really praying the rosary, seeing that, we got to go to battle with this. And I even put in the rosary packet, I even put in a concealed carry card, because you're carrying a weapon, But anyways, so that took off to the point where the Swiss Guard found out about it, and they really liked it. And so I gave them for their recruits, I gave them a rosary. They were so grateful. They actually wanted me to come out. I was going to go out this year, and they were going to honor me at their induction ceremony. But the commandant, I got a video of this. Actually, at one of their induction ceremonies, said, I want you to carry this from now on. So if you see a Swiss Guard, know that in his pocket, upon the command of the commandant, they're carrying my combat rosary. So that's pretty cool. But it's took off, and it's helped us all understand the power of the rosary. The Blessed Mother crushes the head of the serpent, right? And so we're to go to battle and carry this weapon with us.
And it's kind of true, because I think that way. I have a rosary that's kind of a wood, and maybe that's the way it is. I've tried some of the other ones, and I've had some break on me. And I had my mother's for a long time, but it was, the little metal links. And now I have it in a bag so it doesn't fall all over. But
this one's virtually indestructible, too. So... Yeah, they can find it, too, at RomanCatholicGear.com, little commercial pitch there, if people are intrigued by it.
So what's your, if there's an attack going on, I heard they tried to get rid of the cross down towards San Diego out here in California, the World War I cross they had up, big concrete cross. And it's kind of like something going on across the country. Let's get rid of the crosses because it might offend someone. What do you see as one of the biggest concerns facing the on the front line battle against evil that's concerning for Christians?
So my school of thought, and others are joining me in this, is that way back in 1884, Pope Leo XIII had his vision, which brought us the St. Michael prayer, and that was that Jesus and Satan had a conversation, and Satan said, "I can destroy your church, and I need greater strength and time." And so he gave him 100 years. Well, I'm of the school of thought that 100 years came with the warning at Fatima. So on October 13, 1917, the clock started ticking, and what's called the unbinding of Satan happened for 100 years. Well, that would lead to 2017, okay? And we know the influx of evil during all that time, the outrageous stuff. I just got done talking about 2012 and beyond. I mean, I laid out what happened, but those were the final years of the 100-year reign. So he knew his time was short. So then, what do we say about 2017 to 2020? Well, now he's mad as hell, and he wants it back. And so he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us right now to try to regain his greater strength. But why doesn't he have greater strength right now? Because we started believing again in the power of God. And we started going to adoration. We started praying the rosary like we weren't before. I tell people, I was formed in the seminary in the 80s. We were not offered 1 minute of Eucharistic adoration in all my seminary training. And I watched as guys were kicked out of seminary because they had a devotion to the Blessed Mother and recommended for psychiatric treatment because that was seen as fanatical. That's where we were, okay? So look where we are now. We've overtaken Satan in strength, okay, but just barely, okay? And we got to continue growing and stronger in our belief in the supernatural power of God. But that's what I believe is going on right now. It's a big temper tantrum by Satan and his minions because we overtook him in 2017. He wants it back.
Yeah, and with the abortion issue and so many more situations, it's just such a battle, and it seems to be out in the open even more. And you're using the
out in the open. He's exposing himself with his overreach. That's what's going on right now. And I believe that here's my hopeful belief. I believe that it's causing an awakening, and there's a revival that's coming because they're so horrified by evil and recognizing Satan playing. He's right in our face right now. They know that they need the power of God, and I'm predicting a huge revival coming real quick because of the outrageousness and the overreach of the arrogance of evil right now.
When really difficult times come and there's thunder and lightning, just per se, and things really start getting dark in someone's life, just as analogies, it seems like then you start seeing people turn to God, right? Turn to their faith, And all right, so our time is up, and I love having you on, and we are with you. There's Father Heilman is avid user of new media, so we are in your corner here because Eric's on the cutting edge of the media, so we'll be talking. Now,
all right.
In kind of a little nutshell, we're talking about the Rosary. Can you give us, our listeners, a little bit, when you say a definition of the Rosary or, where it came from, something like that, so our listeners kind of know what is the Rosary?
Yeah,
and
so obviously it was, Our Lady brought the Rosary, but she brought it big time with Our Lady of Fatima, okay?
Right.
And it's the weapon for our time, okay? It's the weapon for our time. And she's been pointing to it over and over again. And the power of the Rosary, I call it the umbilical cord to Our Lady, okay? You just get that close to her, and she's our advocate, like our defense attorney. She goes to the throne for us, and that's her place, and it's amazing, okay? And so we want to – Jesus can't deny his mother anything, so we go to Mary, and she's been given the power to overcome Satan.
Right. And congratulations
on your – There's so many beads on the Rosary. I'm not Catholic, so I know that there's so many. How many beads are there? And you say a prayer for each one?
Yeah, so there's 5 decades, they call it. So there's 10 Hail Marys that you pray, and it's Hail Mary, Hail Mary. It's almost like the little kid, I love it, Mom, Mom, Mom.
Yeah.
But it's just a beautiful mantra almost, where you're just with our Blessed Mother. You're kind of calling Mom, 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 Hail Mary, Hail Mary. So 10 decades, and then there's an Our Father bead between each one of those, and then there's 5 other beads down on the part that dangles, and there's 2 Our Fathers and 3 Hail Marys there, and at the cross you pray the Creed. So it's just a beautiful time to just stop, be alone, and go, Mom, Mom, Mom. I love, it's a mantra, and so you're well connected to Our Lady.
I say
and
the rosary.
Where can people get your books and get the rosary again?
Yeah, so my family, because of the interest, started a company, and it's called RomanCatholicGear.com. RomanCatholicGear.com. You can find all that stuff there.
Okay, Roman Catholic Gear, and I want to congratulate you on your Faith Conquers All nomination. And
thank you.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting. September 26th, we're going to be having our EZWay Awards Virtual Golden Gala. Kind of a groundbreaking situation here with God's golden carpet. Father, I thought you'd like that.
Nice.
All right.
Tip or two for Father Altman. He's the John the Baptist of our times. He's amazing. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh,
Father
great.
James Altman.
Okay. All right, we'll keep him in our prayers. And thank you for coming on, Father. And I know you're a busy guy, and that's an understatement.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go. I'm actually going to a presbyteral assembly right now. So.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you again,
all right,
Father.
Thank you for coming on.
All right. God bless you. All right. Bye-bye.
God bless.
So, Reatha, I told you, talking about an interesting guest, huh? That's about as front line as it gets. So.
Yeah, I don't think of the rosary being a weapon, but that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a weapon.
So with that, we're going to move into a commercial in Carmelita's Corner.
Are you looking to accelerate your influence? EZWayWall.com is a new site that allows you to promote yourself, business, brand, and your products as an influencer. You can share your ideas, receive comments, promote and brand yourself with the power of affiliation. Associate yourself and your brand with the power players of today to become leaders of tomorrow. Come and join the EZWay Wall today. Sign up at wall.EZWayBroadcasting.com or text EZWayWall to 55678.
Welcome to EZWayBroadcasting.com, your one-stop shop getaway to corporate Hollywood. EZWay specializes in red carpets and will enhance your experience. EZWayBroadcasting.com is top-ranked on Alexa and houses the EZWay TV Film On channel, podcast radio station, and EZWay magazine. Learn more about the beautiful EZWay Angels and follow their events calendar. For more information, visit EZWayBroadcasting.com and click on About Us or call 424-209-9290. Don't forget to subscribe to the website and follow EZWay on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for amazing updates and opportunities. Remember, that's letter E and letter Z, because, well, we do it the easy way.
And now it's time for Carmelita's Corner.
You are about to experience Carmelita's Corner. Carmelita's song Rosebud made it to the top 40s with the godfather of soul, James Brown. She's the founder of the Rose Breast Cancer Society. Now here's your host, Carmelita Pittman.
Well, hello there, Radio Land. And we're about to land on a great planet. Planet Earth. And I'm bringing you someone today that is worth the trip. His name is Tom Chesser, and he is our guest today. He is into so much. He's an author. He's an entrepreneur. He makes things happen for people. He's involved with a great organization that is connected to Billy Graham. And he also is a member of the EZWay Wall of Fame. And he's going to be talking to you today about being a superhero. But I consider him a superhero because of all that he does. He is an authority agency member, and he provides media-worthy stories to over 350 major media outlets, such as ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And now we present to you Tom Cheshire. Good morning.
Hello, Carmelita. I love you, and I love the name. And I thank you for the introduction. That was really powerful. I think, honestly, I've been listening to the show since I've been sitting here, and it's been an amazing show so far. And there are superheroes out there that deserve the recognition, that can be provided by third-party validation. So, I really love the opportunity to be on your show. I really am looking forward to the EZWay 2020 second annual Golden Carpet Gala, and I got to write the articles about and presenting it and doing all that. But, I'm presenting an award there, which is called the Online Superhero Award, and there's 4 nominees that are being nominated, and I'm looking forward to hearing who that winner is going to be, and I'll be announcing that. But, everybody loves a superhero. Everybody loves somebody that come in and save the day, because a superhero is somebody that sees a need, finds a solution, and saves the day. So the question that I ask people all the time is, what superhero would you be? What superpowers would you have? And who would you save?
Well, we certainly are in need of superheroes. And, when I was in the pageant for Woman of Achievement, there was a wonderful lady there, and she talked about superheroes and the things that she had overcome. And the thing that she brought home was the fact that we all need to be our own superheroes. That was actually the topic of her platform. And I just like the idea very much.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to me where this actually came from, because this is a presentation that I've made at elementary schools, high schools, junior high, wherever, across the San Antonio area. And it all started, actually, believe it or not, by my 7-year-old grandson, who I love to death. He is, my buddy, my best friend. He was sitting in the back of the car one day, and he asked me, Tom, what superhero would you be? And I thought about that for a second, and I said Superman, because, I'm a reporter, Clark Kent, Superman, that kind of deal, Daily Planet. So I related automatically to Clark Kent, Superman. I said Superman. And he said, well Tom, basically what superpowers would you have? And I started racking my brain and starting to think of, I'm faster than a speeding bullet. I'm more powerful than a locomotive. I could jump over buildings in one bound. I started listing the Superman things that he does. You know what I mean? His superpowers, so to speak. And then the next question that came out of this very insightful young man was, Tom, who would you save? And then I said, well, I would save Metropolis, my city, the Daily Planet, Lois Lane, Jimmy Nelson. And I did that. Then I turned to Jake and I said, Jake, what superhero would you be? And he went on, and at that time I think he said Spider-Man. I said, Spider-Man. Okay, Jake, you'd be Spider-Man. I said, Jake, what superpowers would you have? Well, this little old fella, man, he didn't stop at a web shooting thing, or he didn't stop at spider senses. He listed every imaginable superpower that you could think of. You know what I mean? He stacked it in there because he saw himself more powerful than just what Spider-Man was. So he just put every superpower that was out there and made them up. I mean, it's unbelievable. But then the big question that I asked him, I said, Jake, who would you save? And this little old fellow said, Tom, I'd save anybody that has a need. I don't care if they're being bullied at school. I don't care if they don't feel good about themselves. I don't care if they got problems. I would save them all. So that got me starting my whole thing and a whole media presentation where it's called Finding the Superhero in You. Because all of us are superheroes. And superheroes have special powers. Your powers are better and different and amazing enough than anybody else out there. So you are unique and distinct in your superpowers. Am I right?
I think you are.
Mm-hmm. So by having those superpowers, you could do that. And then basically the next question is, who would you say? So, finding the superhero in you is one of the things in the projects and one of the things I've been writing about. That's part of this presentation that I'm giving away for the Online Superhero of the Year Award for EZWay Gala. And I think it's so important to understand that we are all superheroes. We all have superpowers that nobody else possesses. So when I'm making this presentation at these schools, I have all the superhero capes hanging on the wall or on the drapes of the auditorium. I have everyone you can imagine. And then I also in that situation, I call it, go in there and I have the superhero day where we're doing the laundry for the superheroes. And then I'm also got the deal where I'm dressed up as Superman or Clark Kent. And then I'm telling these children or these young people out there how amazing they are, how powerful they are, and how they are a superhero. I also ask them to reach over and touch the person next to them and tell them that I would save you. Now, one of the things in the presentation is I bring in all kinds of Nerf guns. You know what a Nerf gun is? Shoots those rubberized bullets, all over the place. And I have the villain capes. So I go into that. Not only are there superheroes, but there's also villains out there that want to stand in our way, destroy us, hurt us, bring us down. And I have given the villain capes to some of the teachers. The minute I say that, they start charging the stage. They're shooting Nerf guns at me like you would not believe. I mean, they're hitting me in the chest, in the face. I mean, they're hitting me. Machine gun Nerf guns. I give them all kinds of Nerf guns loaded to the hilt. So they start shooting those Nerf bullets at me. All of a sudden, I'm real powerful. I'm Superman. I can get through this thing. But then I start getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, and I go down almost on one knee. Then I cry out, and I said, wait a minute. I need some help here. I need some help. Where is my Justice League? Where is my Justice League? All of a sudden, the principal of the school that now is wearing a Wonder Woman cape, and the guy that I work with, Daniel, he actually is wearing a Batman costume and everything else. So they run up and they jump in front of those bullets. They jump in front of those bullets, and they start taking them for me. They start hitting them, and they jump in there, and they want to save my day. You understand? So we all not only are superheroes, but we're in need of a superhero. Somebody that sees a need, finds a solution, and saves the day. So that's kind of where my media company focuses on, finding these amazing stories, these people that are changing the world for the better of the good, these people that are out there helping others become more powerful. They're stepping in the place of what's hitting them every day. And that's getting their stories recognized through major media sites. Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's what you've done for Eric Zuley.
Absolutely. Eric's powerful. Eric, is one of the powerful characters that I've ran into, and he asked me to help promote what he's doing on the EZWay Wall of Fame. I'm on the EZWay Wall of Fame, matter of fact, and that's showcasing even a lot of my very special clients. The superheroes that I write stories for are on the EZWay Wall of Fame. And then last year, 2019, I wrote the article about the Dr. James Dentley receiving his award, for Mentor of the Year award, which he has given away this year to somebody else, and then Eric called me up and said, hey, Tom, man, God told me to call you. That was like, oh, wow, you got my attention. And so at that point in time, I started really writing. So I've been promoting this book. I've been promoting the EZWay Wall of Fame. I've been promoting the gala, because of the power, of this network. The EZWay network is so strong and so viable today. And what we need today is to have showcase who those superheroes are. And during the gala, there's 33 awards that are going to be given out. 33 awards that are going to be passed on. People are going to be recognized for the power of who they are. And I'm proud to say that a lot of those are my friends. A lot of those are my clients that I've been doing their stories for a while. And I'm so proud to be a part of that. It's amazing.
Yes, it is. And I just want to go back a minute to superhero. I want to recognize Chadwick Boseman. I'm sure you're familiar with that name. He's graduated to a better world, but he's made an indelible impression. He was the star of Black Panther, which was a first in many ways of its kind. I don't know if you saw that movie or not. Did you see it?
Oh, absolutely. That was one of my movies. You know, my grandson loves superheroes, right? So we had to go see that one.
Yeah, he really took it to another level, and you know, he gave the ambiance, he gave the presence to people of color who have never had a superhero on mainstream as a Superman type of character, or you know, even Batman or any of those. But so he put it on the map, and I'm just so proud of his achievement, and I just wish he hadn't left us so soon.
It is really sad when you see a star like that has got really a message behind them, you know, leave us, because we are in need of a superhero, and we're in need of a superhero like him because his powers were so great in getting his message out there and setting on the map the Black Panther movie, and I really enjoyed watching that. You know, it was a different kind of superhero, but like I said, there's all kinds of superheroes. Am I right?
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you a question. What superhero would you be? What superpowers would you have, and who would you say?
Well, first of all, I think that, like you said, we're all superheroes in our own way, and I just like to believe that as long as I stand on the rock, you know which rock I'm talking about.
Absolutely, the rock, Jesus Christ. On
yes,
this rock I will build my church.
You know,
that's the rock.
We those who believe have been given the same abilities. He said, "What I do, you can do too," and I believe that. And I think that each and every day that we wake up and we're still given another day of breath, that we just need to go about our business and do our best, to show our best, and to do good in the world. So I think that just in general, just doing good in the world, because right now, as the Father said before us, and by the way, I am very much a part of the Catholic tradition. I was born into that church because of my heritage. On my mom's side of the family, where it was from Mexico, and they believe very strongly, you know, in that tradition. And I became the president of the Parish Pastoral Council, which was an advisor to the head priest, and that was quite a responsibility and quite an experience. And during that particular time, I orchestrated the intercultural concert, and I had it held on the anniversary of 9/11, because that was a very significant date, because it was the one time that I know of that nobody was going around being a hyphenated American. We were just Americans, period.
Right.
And we belong to one family. And I believe we're all one. We all come from the same source. People just need to recognize that.
You're absolutely right. You know, and Jesus went. The highest accolade that they said on earth about Jesus Christ was that he went about doing good. Right? That's what they said. He went about doing good. Jesus said, and the scripture simply says, "Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world." That means the power of God in you is greater than anything else that you face. Any problems, any mountains, any fears, our God is greater than all that. But then what people don't want to just continue to say, that Jesus, in talking to his disciples, said, "Greater things than this shall you do," right? Greater things than this shall you do. So Christ passed on that power to do great things, to be great. He created you as a creation to be great. He created you as a creation to be a creator, to create great things. There's greater power in you than there's anywhere else. And it's time now for all of those people that literally believe that to step up, stand up, and step out of the shadow and start showing how great God is. Because like with what was just recently was talked about is the great things that are happening right now, that God's doing great things. This is a God thing. Every day I wake up and every night I go to bed, here's my one prayer that I pray. Lord, lay somebody on my heart and love that soul through me. And let me do my part to win that soul to thee. So what I do with Rise Up Media and Marketing and all the stuff that I do and the impact that I'm having and everything it's a God thing. Talking to you today is a God thing. Talking to these people, being a part of all this stuff is a movement. This movement needs to be louder and bolder and brave more than it has ever before, because it has once been said, evil prevails, and I want to say this, evil prevails when good men do nothing. It's time for good people to step up.
Yes,
it's time for them to voice out
yes,
their...
And people are complicit, basically, with what's happening. If they're not part of the solution, they are part of the problem. If they don't recognize the fact that, they need to be on the right side of history. Because in the end, I do believe that we're all going to have to face our Maker. And I think the most important thing we want to hear is, well done, my servant. So we need to serve the higher purpose. And, I do believe, that right now we are facing a storm. There's no doubt about it. The storms, the fires, everything happening right now. Some people might already think it's the end of the world, but it's not. I think that actually all of this is a wake-up call. I think that people are being shaken up. And if they didn't have faith before, they better get some. Because, we definitely need the Savior, the superhero, which is, like you said, it's in us. So we need to step up to the plate.
Right. And that's when you stand before the great white throne, you're standing for not of a judgment seat kind of deal. You're going to stand in front of God. And it's an award ceremony, just like we're doing for EZWay. And God's going to look at it and open up the book of life, and he's going to look at my life, and I want to stand before him and hear the same words you want to hear. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. I want him to see all the amazing stories and all the amazing people that I've been helping, and the millions and the billions of people that I get to watch and to read and to listen to those stories. I want him to set that be the thing that I stand and be recognized for is, promoting the good news. The good news, which is the gospel of Jesus Christ, but the good news about humanity and the good news about God and the good news about what's going on right now. We have got so much negative crap out there, and pardon me for using that word, but negative stuff out there right now. That's all the media wants to promote. I want to be the side of the media, right, that promotes the good news because they don't have enough. And that's why...
You take me back to mind when I was actually an LA Unified art educator for many years, and my students came in first, second, and third place in the bicentennial art contest, and I was so proud of them. At that particular time, we had Pittman limousine service, and we had Smokey Robinson as a client the day before I had them pick up their awards. And we picked them up. We had them pick up their awards downtown in that same gold limousine. And I wanted the media to know that these youngsters who were from what they call the inner city, that's code for code, right? For youngsters, predominantly black students of African descent. And I wanted a positive news story about what these youngsters had done. And I told the young ladies, now you dress up in your nice dresses, and the young men, you wear your suits. And they looked so wonderful. They did. And I wanted, at the time my husband was actually working for CNN, and I thought I had a good chance. But even then, they said, well, it's not news unless it bleeds. If it bleeds, it leads. So they didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear a positive story about what these youngsters, which they would have much preferred it if I had told them that they're about the gangs and all the negative stuff. But here these kids were coming out of this part of town that most people associate with all the negativity, the riots and everything, and they were doing great things. I wanted people to know about that, but that wasn't news for the media.
Well, what I write is I write media-worthy stories. that basically get picked up by major media sites. I'm independent. I don't have to live with the editor saying, "Man, that's not newsworthy because that's not bad news." I don't do that. So I only write positive, articles about people performing extraordinary feats and things that are going on out there that people need to pay attention to. But that's really, to be totally honest with you, that's what Google wants. Google doesn't want all the bad news. When you go search Google, right, you go type in what you're looking for. You don't just go type in bad things, do you? You go and type in what you're relevant to what you're looking for, and you want to read that. So I don't write anything negative. I don't read anything really political, one opponent against the other opponent. I write about amazing people doing amazing things because I want people to see how great they are. And by doing that, I give them third-party validation and third-party recognition through major media sites, like you said, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, over 300, almost 600 major media networks. That's what I love doing. I won't do any of the other stuff.
Well, listen, Tom, on that note, I think we need to bid our adieus to our listening audience. And I always have a saying, that it's time to get on our horse and ride off in the sunset, or your Ferrari if you prefer. But I want people to know that they can find out about this by going to www.EZWayAwards.com. And I want you to announce your website, too, so people can get in contact with you.
The best way to find me, if you really want to find me, is just Google Tom Chesser. I mean, I am all over the Internet. My stories are out there. Everything goes on. But if you want to go connect with me, go connect with me on Facebook for Rise Up Media and Marketing on Facebook. And then you're going to read some of the amazing stuff that is out there. So that's kind of one way to bring it back to a social behavior. And that's what we're all here to do. Carmelita, you're a blast. I love you to death. I love just saying your name. It's just, ooh. And, you've done some amazing things. Thank you so much for being a superstar. Thank you for being a superhero. And thank you very much for having this old guy on your show. So God bless you.
Well, you're as young as you feel. So
I am. You're young.
So you're still a very young man.
I'm all over the place. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Okie doke. So here we go.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Yes, indeed. Well, Reatha, it's so interesting. There's so many people we come across that have such interesting stories, and our guests today were amazing. And
absolutely.
And there's so much going on in the world that people really do need faith to move forward. Because I was reading some of these articles about people that hardworking blue collar families, and you have high income earners and the white collar situations, and a lot of them are facing their trials, and it's but everything is coming about. You have the storms in the seas, and it separates all the ships, and so on and so forth. And then when it gets calmed down a little bit, everybody gets focused and back on track. And I see a lot of people going back to work because the freeways are definitely filling up.
People are going somewhere. I don't know where they're going, but they're definitely going somewhere.
Oh, yeah. So with this, Reatha, I'll leave it up to you if you want to. If you have to get going, we can wrap up now, or we can move on and we can have you do your report. And what do you think?
Well, we can do a little tech time quickly here.
Then let's do a little tech time.
Smartphone, cell phone, PC, Mac, tablet, iPad. That's right. It's tech time.
You would think, as much as I talk about scams, that I would not get scammed. But guess what? I got. Yeah, I did. Have you seen those ads on Facebook where they have the cute little puppies and they're supposed to look real, and you see the puppies jumping and running around and following a finger or something really cute, and they're supposed to be animated toy puppies. Well, I'm one of those people, I wake up in the middle of the night and I sleep shop. I'm half awake and I'll shop for stuff, and then I'll get stuff and I'll say, oh, wow, I didn't remember ordering that. Well, I was looking forward to my animated dog showing up in the mail. Well, I paid $39 for a dollar store stuffed doggy. Clearly not what was advertised. Well, I went back. I found some of the ads. They're clearly misleading. They're clearly phony. If I was awake and paying attention, I would have noticed that. But what I always do, especially when I buy off of Facebook ads, is I pay with PayPal, because PayPal guarantees money back. I've never had any problem getting money back from PayPal when I have been falsely advertised to. So people say to me, I don't know how to even report this stuff. How do I get my money back? Well, first of all, you go back to PayPal and you go into your orders, and then they have buttons that you push that will tell you how you report that you're not satisfied. Now, first they're going to direct you back to the store, and then if you can't settle it with the store, which clearly when it's false advertisement, they're not going to settle it. And then PayPal will give you your money back. But the thing is, these ads still are popping up on my page, and I know it's false advertising. So today I'm going to tell you what you do to report these ads that are misleading. Now, not just because you don't like something, not just because it disagrees with you politically, but when it is clearly false advertisement, they've taken your money under false pretenses, you ordered A, but you got B, C, and D, and charged for it also, that's when you report it. So when you go back to the Facebook page, and at the top of the ad, you will see three little dots over to the right-hand side. Tap on those three dots. You'll get a menu that says Save Video, Hide Ad, which you can hide the ad if you don't want to see that type of ad ever again. You just type on the Hide Ad and follow the directions. Then they have a report ad, and it says, tell us about a problem with this ad. If you tap on that, it will give you a choice of misleading or scam, sexually inappropriate, offensive, violence, prohibited content, spam, false news, other political candidate or issue. Now, don't just report them because you don't like them. But if it is, because we're not trying to censor one another here, but if you've really been ripped off, you've really been misled, go into this. You can find out what the ad policies are, and then you can actually report them. And I have been successful with having things removed, because people say, well, they don't write me back. No, but they do actually act upon it. So you report the ads so that they don't continue to rip people off. So every time I see one of these ads, and they go under different names, but it's the same type of videos. And I know now that if you order it, you're not going to get a cute little mechanical dog. You're going to get a dollar store teddy bear dog. So report it so other people don't get ripped off. Now, again, there are other things that are on the page that you can report when you find things that, like I said, not that just make you unhappy, but are genuinely deceptive. Report it. And it's amazing that they actually do respond to the reports. Now, sometimes it's things that it's people, and the same thing goes for people. On the top right-hand corner of the page, there's the three dots. You press on that. You can save the post. You can hide the post. You can snooze the post for 30 days, which is kind of just taking a break, or you can unfollow them. You can. It also has a place where you can find support or report posts. So if someone has cloned your page and they're using your name or information, you can report the post. You can, if it's something that's disturbing, you can, and do it right away. There was a thing a few weeks ago where someone committed suicide on TikTok, and it stayed up for hours because people weren't reporting it. You can turn on notifications for a post, and you can view and edit the history of a post. So people tell me all the time, well, I don't know how, and they don't write me back. They don't have to write you back. Just use the mechanisms that they have in place to report when you've been ripped off, to report people who are abusing Facebook, and anything that's really disturbing, please report it. Even with the ads, you can say, why am I seeing this ad? And they will tell you. And you can have it, you don't have to see those ads anymore. You can follow a page. You can turn on notifications for a post. And it's so important that we monitor this virtual world that we live in, because some of these things are harmful. Children will see them because they're public knowledge. So report them, again, not just because it disagrees with your point of view, but because it is genuinely offensive, it is a ripoff, it's cloning your page, it's misrepresenting things. Again, not just because you don't like it, but it's saying you're going to get a mechanical dog and you clearly get a $1 stuffed dog. Again, like I said, they got me. Don't get gotten. Read the ads, look at it, and try to pay with PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, I'm not advertising for them, but if you pay with PayPal, you can get your money back. If you pay with your credit card, you've given them your credit card number, and your credit card company is not necessarily going to get your money back for you. That is my tech time for today. Jim, I know we're going to talk about the Golden Gala.
If you want to stick around, we're going to talk about EZWay Wall of Fame Awards, Virtual Golden Gala coming up Saturday, Reatha. And I'll tell you, this is the talk of the town. I mean, we had the big event that you were covering, and this is, I would say, going to be close to the same level. It's and the technology on walking the carpet and so on is very impressive. The way they do it now. And, Reatha, I'll tell you, you know what goes into doing an event from the past. A lot of work goes into these events, getting the people and the parking and driving and flying in. A lot of our events, we had people flying in usually from all over when Eric does an event, because a lot of his guests fly in from basically all over the world. But now they get to stay home and do it. But you know what? Putting this together is not easy. You know about tech and getting everybody, coordinated, right, to come on at the right time, and, formatting the time, and, when they're on stage, in person, that can be tricky. You have to give them so much time, but there has to be a time allotted to get up and go to the stage. There's 30 seconds. It's so technical. And now we're in that category, but it's even more so because people are coming on and ready to broadcast. So it's got to be really fine-tuned. And I had an invitation. If anybody wants to come on with us, just go ahead and say we're on. We have our producers and our host, Tony Boldy, and Joanna Haravici, and the Miss America, and Eric might pop on, but we'll see. They're all very busy working with the event. And Reatha, you shared that you somewhat, you're a people person. You get out there, but you kind of enjoy part of it when you get to do a lot of it. You do by staying home, right?
Well, I like the not commuting to events. I have to admit, but I do miss the actual red or golden carpets. I miss the socialization because it's one thing to see somebody on Zoom. It's another to actually reach out and touch them. But even now, you can't reach out and touch anybody. You have to keep 6 feet distance. So I look forward to the Golden Gala this year, even though it is going to be virtual. I know things have been pre-taped. I want to tell you that Dante's dress is fabulous.
Isn't that something?
It's fabulous. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
That's an eye-catcher, Golden dress is beautiful.
It really is. And so it's going to be glitz and glamour just as if you were there. So I look forward to that. I know they were up in the middle of the night preparing. I saw some live broadcasts at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Poor Eric looked like he needed to take a nap.
Speaking of Eric, he's been burning the midnight candle big time. We might have him on. Our engineer gave me a beep. Eric, you on with us?
I am.
Hello. There we go. Okay, we got Eric. He's actually still awake. It's amazing. Reatha and I were just saying that you're burning the midnight oil here, and that the virtual event is, what would you say, it's pretty much as much work as the in-person events, or how would you? It's kind of a different type of stress, right?
It's definitely more, because there's a lot more coordinating and a lot more training involved in holding hand in the tech world to show people what to do, especially celebrities, especially influencers, and a lot. Reatha's laughing because she knows what I mean. But it's fun but really it's the outcome that this is going to provide. I love what your guest, what Father said, and he recognizes, I definitely want to talk to him, he recognizes that, the devil's mad. He's upset right now. He's trying to take back things, and I love what he said because it's so true. And this is God's virtual Oscar. I mean, it's not the Oscars, but it's like it's a very high classy, elite, golden gala. We're trying to portray the Oscars. We're trying to portray recognizing these individuals, and I really appreciate Tom in saying what he said, because it's not necessarily me or EZWay. It's God's way. What we're doing here, and that's why it's coming together so well. And that's why, and people really don't understand the magnitude of the team and the producers that are behind this thing. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, is really just giving edification to the team. Like, for instance, Kevin Dorsey, who's a very close friend of mine. I worked with him with Universal for almost a year and a half, 2 years. And he was the guy that pretty much ran and did everything for the We Are the World production with Michael Jackson, and he's a legend. He's a legend in what he does, and he's our stage director. Then we have Tony Boldy, who's our co-producer on this event and our host, and he's done thousands of productions. And there's so many others I could mention, but there's probably about 25 people that are involved with this at an actual sound stage, and it's a full-fledged production with almost 12 cameras at this point.
And then it's like a big puzzle, and all the pieces are technical people, and they all have their really high-grade skills, but they have to be interlinked with each other to get the clock working. You see all the gears on the clock.
And the other thing I wanted to make sure I touched on is this is not just a virtual thing that you're watching on the screen. This is a continuing on benefit for the audience, and we're going to make it very fun for the audience. But this is for the EZWay family, and we feel that this is going to keep growing every year to go in conjunction with the social network that we've created. Right now, we're in the midst of working on an app to be, something similar to like Facebook and Instagram, and have it be a really amazing social network type of app that goes in conjunction with the Wall of Fame. And these people that are part of our network that are helping us to make a difference. That's why we created the EZWay Wall of Fame Awards Golden Gala, is because we want to recognize those individuals that helped us get to where we are today, that helped us get to millions of homes now and multiple channels and networks and celebrities that you see are in conjunction with us. They're not just on a website, or they're just not like every now and then popping on a show. No, they're in full support in what we're trying to do because of what we're trying to do. You know, my book coming out, you see who's in it. I mean, every time we have a project, you see these influencers that are involved. And so basically, this award show is going to be really fun for those that are going to be involved, and it's a chance to dress up, wear a tux, wear a suit. You know, just like Reatha said, you know, it's fun to not have to go to events anymore, but we want to make it fun virtually, just like you would go to an event. I mean, it's fun to dress up for an event, walk the carpet, meet people, network. We're going to do the same exact type of thing. Even the networking, you can get a $99 VIP ticket to be able to network with these high-level individuals, to be able to hang out in a you know, like a green room, and we're going to have over 200 people that are going to be able to network and hang out as they're waiting to walk the carpet, and all this stuff that we're lining up. And the software is very unique and different. We have the same team that does these big award shows. And what a lot of people need to know, too, is my background and what I've done. I've learned from the person that did the Golden Globes for a long time. He's the one that presented me my award, Chris Donovan. You know, I've learned from people like the Vice President of Warner Brothers and just all these amazing people. And we have some of them on board with us on our team. So we're not there yet, but we're definitely creeping up to there. And I don't know what happened. It's the devil just came down the television.
Well, I can still hear you, and it is amazing. And the team you have put together is a who's who, basically, in the industry. And, you know, people that have done award shows like Chris Donovan for many years, and so many others. These are some of the top people and experienced people in the business. So, and you know, you're breaking ground here because they didn't have this stuff a long time ago. You know, this is what's happening now. It's being created as you go. So
let me tell everybody how you get involved with the awards. We made it really, really simple for everybody.
You're a little muffled, Eric.
Well, now I'm muffled. Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me? Okay.
There you go.
So let me tell everybody how you get involved with this award show this Saturday. It's this Saturday. I don't know if people realize that because we've been promoting it for a while. It's not next week. It's this Saturday. So in the next 4 or 5 days, we're doing the awards. So you go to EZWayLiveEvents.com, letter E, letter Z, WAY, liveevents.com, and you register. And then EZWayAwards.com is the actual guidance, the direction of what's happening. We have a program on this, which you can still get sponsorship on if anybody wants to get an ad. We're expecting hundreds of thousands of people to be live, and we're definitely going to have millions of people that are going to see this through the rebroadcast with Simul TV, Atari, Roku, Apple, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. And you register, you'll get the emails, you'll get the guidance, and you'll be able to be a part. There's 2 ways to be involved with this. So one, you can be a part of the event, where you can actually be on television, on air, as part of the audience, wearing your tuxedo, wearing your gowns, and we bring you on air, and you get to network, and you get to be involved in that capacity. Or 2, you just turn on your Roku television, install the EZWay Network channel. You can download our app, or you just go to EZWayLive.com, which is everything we're doing takes you there. You can just watch and enjoy, and we're not charging anybody anything. We're just hoping that people donate. We're hoping that people support the cause, which is the Elise Project, which actually is the client of Tom, who Carmelita just had on. By the way, shout out to Tom. I love him. He's doing an amazing job on the PR, and because of Tom and Rise Up Media, we're going to have Fox and ABC and NBC and all these amazing people picking this thing up and covering it. And so it's going to be a really spectacular event, and we've had probably about 900 registrants so far.
Wow.
It's really going to be, and yes, it is a lot of work and whatever, but it's going to be a really fun event. It's going to be a spectacular event. We've got a great team, and God's got his hand over this thing. God's whispering in people's ears, and we hope that we raise awareness for God. That's what's called God's golden carpet, and uniting humanity through the digital age. We're uniting the light with this thing. So if you're a light bringer, if you feel that you're a light bringer, if you feel that you're one of God's soldiers, then you need to be a part of this event, and please help us spread the word.
So how do you like it as far as the difference between, I've seen you go through both, an actual event and what we're doing now at the virtual event. The technology and the weight on your shoulders with this is, is really something. So what would you rather do? Would you enjoy these events? Would you like to do more of these, or would you like to go back, or a balance of the two?
Well, that's a big question. I enjoy both. Either both versions.
Oh, you're muffled again. There you go.
Can you hear me? I don't know. Something's wrong with
there you
go. Okay. So both versions have its benefits. Obviously, you want to shake hands with people and look them in the eye and meet them in person, and it's always fun to be on stage and see the audience. I mean, being in person is never going to stop. But I'm with Reatha, man. I love not having to drive. I mean, when this whole pandemic situation happened, I mean, I don't want to say that it was a good thing, but it really didn't bother me, and I enjoyed the fact that, like, oh, okay, now I don't have to drive anymore. Now I get to be in front of a computer and make money, and I just switched up my whole way of thinking, and we're going to do a lot of things in the live space. So I like both, but I think I like the virtual better than the physical myself. And what's going to happen too, just so you guys know, is you're going to start getting into a lot of augmented reality. You're going to start seeing avatars. The whole world is going to go to avatars. So I will have an avatar. You will have an avatar. Reatha, everybody's going to be a virtual avatar pretty soon, and you're going to start seeing that's where everything is transitioning to. I guarantee it.
I know you're a person that cares, and I know that the situation that came up was disturbing to you with, all the stuff that happened with, what's the economy and the people and so on and so forth. But I also understand the point about staying home. A lot of people are comfortable with that, and it may catapult onto the future with a lot of people doing business.
I prayed for everybody when I saw what was going on. I'm very aware, and I'm very concerned for anybody's families, or anybody out there that's dealing with any of this stuff.
My point being was, it's just nice to be able to be in front of your computer and not have to spend gas and worry about getting in car accidents.
Well, Reatha, thank you, Eric, for coming on and sharing all this. September 26th, the EZWayVirtualGoldenGala is going to be amazing, the Wall of Fame. So, but time is ticking, and like Carmelita says, it's time to get in the Ferrari or on the horse, whatever you want to do, and right away. And until next Monday morning.
I look forward to seeing what some of the celebrities and some of the influencers have been able to accomplish with their technology, because I have a green screen at my house, and Eric provided a wonderful backdrop to be able to pre-tape stuff. But you have to know how to do it. So I really look forward to seeing. I'm sure they've all done a wonderful job. But my heart goes out to Eric, because I know working with them must have been a challenge.
We want to thank you for popping on, Eric. And one thing we want to just get a little tip. I'm not a tech person, but in other words, don't wear a green dress, Reatha, while you're doing a green screen shoot, right? Otherwise, just see a head and hands. Just see a head and hands out there. I saw that on a newscast one day. A lady by accident wore something, and all you saw was her hands walking. So guys, thanks for tuning in to Radio Boomers Live. Thank you, Eric, for coming on, and congratulations on what you've created here. This is really amazing. And the book, The Influence Effect, is really a treasure trove of information, and it's really taking off. And, everything, all the EZWay achievements, really amazing. But with that, I think it's time to say farewell until next Monday, and that'll be an interesting show. We'll have recaps, right, Reatha? And talk about the show and how it went and everything. So we'll just sign off, Reatha. Go ahead and give them a farewell, and we'll see you guys next Monday morning. Keep moving, keep the faith.
Actually, we'll see them Saturday. at the Golden Gala.
That's right. God's golden carpet. Radio Boomers Live signing out.
See you Saturday.
Thank you for listening to Radio Boomers Live with your hosts, Reatha Gray, star Betty White's Off Their Rockers, and EZ's dad, Jim Zuley. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Radio Boomers Live. Radio Boomers Live is brought to you by the EZWay Broadcasting Network. That's the letter E, the letter Z, Broadcasting Network.